Herb, would you
Mr.
do that?
Blackstock, here. Mr. Horn?
Here.
Mr. Pitsalis?
Here.
Mr. Boda?
Here.
Mr. Simons?
Here.
Mr. Knotts? Ms. Kramer excused.
Okay. All right. Angela, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to approval of the agenda. I'd like to add one thing to the agenda, would be under new business, item 3, Catherine Light's letter.
I'll support.
Okay. Is that approving the agenda as,
Yes, now approve the agenda with
okay.
addition.
So we have a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the Kathy Light letter. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Moving on to approval of the minutes of September 6, 2016.
If there are no additions or deletions, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 6, 2016 board meeting.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we approve the minutes of September 6, 2016. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? If so, go to the podium, and you have 3 minutes or so.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for letting me speak this evening. My comments will be brief. I have a prepared statement. My name is Jeff Bohm. I reside at 3453 St. Clair Shores Boulevard in East China, Michigan. I'm here this evening to address your board as a resident, and I'm also here this evening to distribute some information to you regarding Alan Richley, who's running for Township Supervisor. I know this information is over 1.5 years old, but I just recently received it. I think it's important for people to understand Mr. Richley's actions while serving in another elected capacity. You have a copy of a personal protection order filed against Mr. Richley, which is public information. I am not going to get into the details of this personal protection order, but I do have additional copies for public consumption here at the back of the room. I am here this evening because I felt it was important for the people who vote to put these elected officials in office to know who they are truly voting for. With that, I appreciate your time and encourage you to take a look at this public information. Thank you. Jeff Bohm.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. We have the C1, August 4, 2016 Beautification Committee minutes. We have the C2 is the August 2016 Marine City Fire Report. We have C3 is the September 7th, 2016 Historical Commission minutes. We have C4 is the August 2016 Investment Income Report. We have C5 is the August 2016 Revenue and Expenditure Report. We have the C6, the August 10th, 2016 Park Commission minutes. And we have C7 is the August 2016 St. Clair Fire Report.
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there any further discussion?
Did you notice that on the St. Clair Fire Report that the first 3 calls they had here were all
Call back.
phony
One on
calls?
my brother.
Or what?
Calls made that there was
Yeah, we have quite a few of those, and we're trying to address some of those. We
Yeah,
talked
those-
about them at the St. Clair.
dispatched and canceled and road, canceled and road.
Right.
First 3 calls they had for the township.
Yeah, they still charge you for
They're
the.
still a hit to the township, yeah, and there's a couple of them that have been in certain places, and we're trying to deal with that right now.
2 or 3 times in a certain spot. That
Um,
333, I think, is one.
Some of them, there's nothing we can do about them. We just have to accept them. But yeah, we're looking at those, and thanks for bringing that up too, Don. Is there any other discussions on the consent agenda? Herb, anything?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries on the consent agenda. Moving on to disbursements, we have invoices of $176,604.06. We have accounts payable of $792,761.53. We have a payroll of $14,630.26. We have payroll direct deposit of $13,274.81. We have EFT accounts of $11,799.23. And we have a tax account of $9,836,438.58, bringing our total disbursements to $10,845,508.47.
I'll make a motion that we pay the disbursements and bills in the amount of $10,845,508.47.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills in the sum of $10,845,508.47. Is there any further discussion? I have one thing to just say, the majority of it is the taxes that we've collected, but we also have the accounts payable, and that's so big because that was our first payment on the sewer plant. That our $747,000 came out of that, so that's what run that up there, so, just so, I know you've all looked at it, but just so the public knows, that's what part of our expenses were, the large project we're doing at the sewer plant.
You got one there on the last page on the bills for weight trim. Is that the total for, the
Wade Trim
sewer
gets
plant?
certain payments as they go.
Okay,
They get a percentage of where they're at. I don't know what page you're on, but
well, it's in the invoices, the last page, right at the bottom.
I'm sorry, Don, invoice?
It would be page 17 of 17. It's got all the vendors, but I noticed they had a bill in there for a replacement project for $17,000.
that's probably for the sewer plant.
Yeah, that's what I figured it is, replacement on the RCBs. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, if there's no further discussions, roll call, please.
Mr. Boda?
Yes.
Mr. Petzales?
Yes.
Mr. Horn?
Yes,
Mr. Blackstock, yes. Mr. Simons?
Yes, motion carries, we pay the bills. Moving on to new business. Item 1, sewer manhole repair proposal for Loretta and Meisner Roads. There is a tremendous amount of infiltration coming in these two areas in the township. That Loretta over there, I went with Blaine and we popped the manhole. It's just running in there.
it's been doing that for quite a few years too.
So
over there.
they say they can fix it, so, I mean, it's a lot of money.
I hope they can. They worked on it a few times.
If you see that in your packet, that 76,000 is what we're gonna, that's with the Hathaway project that we approved before, and this would be a $37,000 one. I also had Corinne pull a report as to where we can get this money, and we have roughly, 81,000 that we can use for this sewer, because we put quite a substantial sum in the budget to do sewer repairs. So we're a little short on what we got, but we can take it out of the other fund. We have a contingency fund, I think it is, and we can swing the 76,000, so, we won't be going into fund balance. It's money that we've allotted for the year, for this year's budget. So I would like to use it, seeing as though we allotted for it.
And that would be, the 76,000 would be for both projects, correct?
That'd be all
Larry?
3 projects.
Oh, that'd be all three.
Hathaway, Loretta, and then the bottom is to get to the 76, if you look at your thing there, that 37 up at the top. This is for Meisner and Loretta. those
Right.
two. And then when you put it all together, it's gonna come up to 76,000. What Blaine is trying to do here
This is
is
halfway
save the
here.
township some money by not having these guys come in and reset up again.
Oh, yeah.
Once they're in the township, they don't have to pay the moving cost. So, that was his thoughts. I think it's a good idea.
While we're on this, Larry, I got a question. I was out fishing and I noticed they were doing some extensive work down by the river. Was that on the water intake?
What they had there is the chlorine line that follows the main intake line, and then
Okay.
they chlorinate right at the, where the water comes out of the river for the zebra mussels.
Okay,
Well, that line came apart, and it was down there, we rented a larger excavator because we had to dig a bigger hole, and it was right at the water's edge.
they had a pretty
Yeah.
good sized hole there.
Yeah, well, because they wanted to slope it back, you know, for safety reasons. And they did a tremendous job on that. And we're going to abandon the chlorine line that we have there now, and we're going to put a chlorine station out there, just a small little station, and they'll have to go out and fill it.
Okay.
Because we'd have to dig all the way back to the water plant.
Oh, yeah, that runs all the way.
And there's
back.
nothing wrong with the line, it's the chlorine is eating the glue up, I guess, that
I was
holds it.
just wondering what was.
That's
going
what it
on
was,
out
yeah.
there. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for noticing that, too.
Oh, I don't miss too much.
Okay. So I guess a motion, if we want to do that, I say we have the money, and I think there's a need because it's costing us a lot of money in the sewer plant to keep treating water that's just ground filtration, infiltration.
How much do we have in the
You
fund
need-
right now? 81?
We could pay we have about 81,000 that we could allot to that, so. It's roughly, round number, 77,000, so we still have 4,000 left in that fund.
And like you said, Larry, we've already budgeted that for this year. It's
We've already
been
got
in our budget.
budgeted, yeah, we're not going into fund balance or our savings or anything to do this.
I do
And these
know
are the
the
worst.
Loretta one needs some work because they've worked on it before and it didn't seem to help, I guess.
Well, this is all repairing from the inside. It's expensive, but it's really expensive to dig the whole line up.
Well, sure it is.
These are the worst that we know of.
These are the worst
So
ones
far.
that we've got right now. The one on Hathaway, and we discussed that before, it's actually a hole, right on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, if you need a motion to repair those two lines there, the Loretta and Meisner Road, I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion to, repair the Loretta and Meisner Road, sewer line,
Do you
and a
have-
second.
You have to include the Hathaway in
No,
that
we've
one?
already done the Hathaway. That was just for your information.
Okay.
We're talking about the 37,000, what was it?
265.
That's what I thought you were
265, yeah.
talking.
We've already approved the other part of it, so. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Petsalis.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock, yes.
Motion carries. We do the sewer repairs. Moving on to new business, item 2, appoint Carrie Ann Kotz to the Beautification Commission. Term expires October 3 of 2019.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Carrie Ann Katz to the Beautification Commission, term expiring October 3rd, 2019.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we appoint Carrie Ann Kotz to the Beautification Committee. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Carrie Ann is on the Beautification Committee. Thank you. Next, we have new business, item 3, Catherine Light. She has a letter here that we got. I'll read it to you. It says, "Board members, with regrets, I submit my resignation as a member of the EAstChina Township Historical Commission effective at the conclusion of my present term of office in October of 2016. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve as a member and secretary of the Historical Commission. My dedication to the Red Brick Schoolhouse has been complete and heartfelt. Your support of this unique facility continues to be a gift to our community and area. My very best wishes go to the present and future commission members. Yours truly, Catherine J. Light. And I would like to thank Catherine for all she's done at the museum. I stopped there the other day myself, where they had an open house, and they do a good job over there. The place is just, spotless and well-organized, and they do a lot of different events there. They always have cookies and stuff. That isn't why I stopped, though.
That's the only reason you want
The
it,
committee does a good job over there, so. I guess with that, we need a motion to accept the resignation, if that's what we
I'll
choose.
make a motion to accept the resignation of Catherine Light from the Historical Commission. With regrets, I hope the township can send a letter to her thanking her for years of service. And since she will be leaving, I'd like to just tell the public that we will have now a new opening there to replace her. So,
I'll support that.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we accept the resignation of Catherine Light with regrets. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We receive the letter with regrets. All right, moving on to ordinance 315, second reading. Does anybody have that up already? I don't have it.
yep, I got it.
You want to read it down, or somebody? Okay.
Ordinance 315, EAstChina Township, St. Clair County, Michigan. An ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 343, Parks, Section 3, Prohibitions and Restrictions. The Charter Township of EAstChina ordains, Section 1, Purpose. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend the Code of Ordinances, Part 2, General Legislation, Chapter 343, Parks, Section 3, Prohibitions and Restrictions by adding paragraph L to prohibit drones and unmanned aircraft use at any township-administered property, including public parks. Section 2 Amendment. The Code of Ordinances, Chapter 343, Section 3, Prohibitions and Restrictions is amended by adding the following. 1. Drones and unmanned aircraft. No person shall launch, land, or operate unmanned aircraft at any township-administered property, including public parks less than 400 feet above the ground level. Drones or unmanned aircraft are not permitted to interfere with the enjoyment of the land being used at these areas. Section 3, severability. The provision of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. If any clause, sentence, paragraph, rule, regulation, section, or subsection is declared void or inoperable for any reason by court, it shall not affect any other part or portion thereof other than the part declared void or inoperable. Effective date, this ordinance shall become effective upon publication after adoption.
Okay, thank you, Angelo.
No second.
It's been moved and seconded. I think we vote on it now, don't we?
Yep.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the ordinance? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance passes. Next, we have Resolution 7, 2016, Local Road Funding System Assistance Program. I know at our last meeting, we made a motion to do it, but after reading the application, which I sent in, they want a resolution. So I've already sent it in, but we still have time till the end of the month, so I thought I would get this resolution and get it signed, get it in the minutes. So I'll read that. So that's what we're doing, is just reiterating the motion that we had last meeting. Resolution 7, 2016, Local Road System Funding Assistance Program, EAstChina Charter Township, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Minutes of the regular meeting of the Township Board of EAstChina Township, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held in the Township Hall on the 19th day of September at 7:30. The following resolution was offered by myself. Whereas the St. Clair County Road Commission has established a local road system funding assistance program through policy number 75 as received October 6, 2009, And whereas the Local Road Funding System Assistance Program provides matching funds to the township for improvements of local roads in St. Clair County. Whereas said matching funds are available to townships on an annual basis up to $100,000 per project. And whereas EAstChina Township has identified the need to improve Hathaway and surrounding roads using the Local Road Funding Assistance Program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Charter Township of EAstChina makes application to the St. Clair County Road Commission for funding under the Local Road System Funding Assistance Program for the year 2017 for the above-named road. Furthermore, Supervisor Larry Simons be authorized to sign the application on the behalf of the Charter Township of EAstChina. All resolutions and part of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby are rescinded.
Do you need a motion to?
So we just
approve
need a second, and then we'll vote on it.
it?
Mike
I'll
is-
support it.
All right, Mr. Horn supported, I made the motion. So we have a motion and a second to go for this local road funding. Is there, everybody understand what we're doing here? And
Yes.
okay. If so, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to announcements. The only announcements I have is, I guess it would be an announcement. It has to do with the fall coming up and this burning of leaves. Try to be respectful of your neighbors. We don't have a burning ordinance in the township as of yet. I've contacted St. Clair and I've talked to the fire chief. If you're burning leaves or whatever you're burning, you call the fire department and they tell you you can burn. You can burn, but you cannot be a nuisance to your neighbors. You can't have the smoke going right at your neighbor's house. And if you do, the fire department's gonna come and put the fire out. So be respectful of your neighbors. It's only a short time, a couple of weeks that these leaves are on the ground. And don't do it if the wind is blowing towards your neighbors. And you can bag them too and put them in for the compost out at the road. So that's our other option. So be respectful of your neighbors. That's what I wanted to bring up. And with that, we'll move on to members.
There's still, September 30th, still the flu.
The flu shots are, I believe it's September 30th, yes.
What time is that?
I want to, gosh, I should have had the numbers.
8 in the morning till 12.
8 till 12, okay. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks
Here's the
for
pictures
attending.
that way. You guys sent me. Okay, so yeah, the flu shots, that's what it is. It'll be September 30th from 8 to 12. So, okay, we'll move on to member comments. Mr. Horn.
Well, I got another report of Maple Landscaping still running them trucks on that bike path. Most of it is up here around the Edison.
Okay,
They've got one crossing there that's, I believe that one crossing to get back in there is extra heavy for them trucks.
okay, we can talk to him.
We don't need them running on that bike path and breaking it up for us.
And we're getting ready to do another section of the bike track too we budgeted monies for that and I directed Blaine to get the bids.
We're at which part?
We're probably gonna finish the part between the Marine City limits and
Springboard?
Springborn Road. We took a ride down there with a pickup the other day, Blaine and I, and
Well, there's another truck.
it's, you know, the stuff we did last year has still got some cracks in it. I don't know how you're gonna stop it. It's asphalt and it's on a railroad bed. It's gonna crack, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna get a price to do, that, I think it's 2,000 feet from where we stopped last year to Springborn Road. And then we're going to, get a price to have them do some rubber sealing
Okay.
on the cracks that they did last year. So just try to stay ahead of it. But I don't know how you're ever gonna stop it. It's gonna,
That area's got ruts coming up through it all the time.
but the bike path is pretty nice. I had them I had them trim the sides of it again,
Yep.
but the stuff grows so fast. I mean, and they're gonna, this winter, they're gonna cut some of the bigger trees, the DPW's crew, if they can get down there.
Get down. It's nice when it's cut, it's wide. I mean, it opens it up quite a bit.
Oh,
when
we
they
really
trim
opened it up a
Yeah.
year ago, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we got on the bike trail. Is that it, Mr. Horn?
That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. Marsalis?
I don't have anything this evening, Larry, thanks.
Mr. Boda?
Just one quick thing, has any more thought been given as to Rico Road here from Park to Point Drive, about putting a late industrial center in there, Park, late industrial park in there? Last time I brought it up, I know you wrote something down, and I just,
That's zone residential right now, isn't it?
right, but who wants to build a house and look at a coal pile?
Yeah, well, we own that property along here.
Well, but you ought to change zoning.
I mean, this is all owned by the township right here,
Yeah.
from here to
But
Rico.
I know that, what
Or
I'm
Point
saying
Drive.
is change the zoning.
It's not zone
to-
residential, I know that, it's zoned something else.
But
It
where are
was-
you?
it
what are-
was zoned
What are you
residential.
talking, what area are you talking?
I'm talking
Tennis
Park
courts.
Drive, or Park Road, right back in, behind the hall,
Okay,
down to just, either the tennis courts or,
that property is all owned by us.
okay. But I was saying, look at putting a late industrial park type deal in there, a small
Because they don't
business.
want to use it for recreation. I mean, that's what we kind of had it for with the tennis courts, but that's something we can look at. I mean,
Yeah. So I'm saying, tennis courts could go in a park.
but then if we rezone it, then we're gonna have to sell it.
Right.
Is that what you want to do?
But I'm just saying, that's to a light industrial park. Like they do up in St. Clair, they have a light industrial park and they have an industrial park, that's what I'm looking at, put small businesses down there that are like up on Boucher Highway by the railroad tracks, south of the railroad tracks, those triangular shaped buildings and, things that, I'm not talking a big industrial thing, I'm just.
Right.
Like,
Like,
we gotta start looking for, if the Edison's gonna shut their plant down, we gotta start looking for additional revenue. And that would be revenue that would be coming in.
I just hate to sell our property to do it.
What else can you do it?
Well, that would have to be something I think we'd have to talk to our planners or we talk to our planning commission about. So we can put that on their agenda.
And that's all I have, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Blackstock?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay. I have nothing. I had just that burning of the leaves and, like I say, with fall coming on, if we could just support our neighbors, I guess, and
Picnic.
I guess we're gonna have to give good luck to that Marine City football team. It seems that we're struggling there,
What's
so
going on there?
good
Lot
luck
of
to you guys this
Lot of
year.
luck.
It's kind of an inter-district match this year this week with St. Clair, I believe, isn't it?
No, it's Madison, it's the homecoming.
Madison? Oh, okay.
It's the homecoming
All
game
right.
this week.
My
Madison.
grandson, he went back to the other one, the junior high.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Okay, so with that, I guess a motion to adjourn is in order.
I'll make that motion to adjourn at 7:57.
Okay, we have a motion.
Support.
And we have a second to adjourn. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.